We've got a great show for you today. February is the most romantic month of the year, and we've got a story about the most loved and hated by some holiday.
We've also got some advice for battling seasonal depression. And later, we get to see what some students think are the worst and best spots on High Street. Stick around. Hello and welcome to Buckeye TV. I'm Eli Burgett.
And I'm Sophie Malin. We've got some great stories coming up, but first, we're looking at the most romantic holiday of the year.
There's a very special day that students should be aware of this week, and Olivia Riley has the story.
Love is in the air on Ohio State's campus on this beautiful winter day. With Valentine's Day coming up, we decided to speak with some students to see how they're going to spend their holiday full of affection.
Well, with Valentine's Day coming up, it's kind of a big holiday for even single people, right? So do you have any plans like Valentine's Day? Maybe you're going to go get dinner with your friends, anything like that?
I wish I did. I'm actually going to be taking an exam on Valentine's Day, but I do plan on having a Valentine's Day with my friends on the weekend. If you're in a relationship or not, I think it's a fun way to just show your love for people that you love around you.
And do you have any big plans for the holiday coming up, Valentine's Day?
My boyfriend and I do long distance. We were high school sweethearts, so we FaceTime on the weekends and stuff like that. We've been doing long distance for about 2 years. So, but my parents, my mom and my Nana are coming down because we like to do a little Valentine's thing ourselves. So we're going to see Ballet Met's Alice this week and just having a girls' weekend.
What are your thoughts just on like the whole holiday itself?
I personally love Valentine's Day. I'm sure some people have other opinions about it, but I just like that it's a holiday where it doesn't have to be stereotypically about like a love life or a partner that you have. It can more about be like the love of friendships that you have and the love of family that you have, and you can really openly create it to be whatever you want.
We know that everyone can have a lot of different opinions about Valentine's Day, but whether your table is for 1 or 2 tomorrow, it's clear that Buckeyes around this campus like to spread love. I'm Olivia Riley with Buckeye TV. Back to the studio.
The Ohio State men's basketball team got the win against Maryland over the weekend, but after going 3-8 since the start of 2024, the season overall has been very disappointing to many members of the fan base. Eli Burgett has the full story.
The Ohio State men's basketball team has run into a multitude of problems so far in 2024. The team is losing winnable games, game attendance is down, and most of the players seem gassed before the game is even over. And it all leads to the question, what is wrong with the Buckeyes?
Some of the patterns I've seen throughout the past 2 seasons is those late December losses that really kind of have to sit with the team over Christmas break or those extended breaks going into the new year. But I think really stew with the team and kind of make things snowball on them. You saw this year they lose to Penn State right before Christmas break. They lead by 20 points in the second half. They lose that game. A loss like that can really hurt a team, especially a young team like Ohio State, really built on sophomore talent. So, they've kind of had to grow up quickly. So when you have losses like that, it really weighs heavy on a team as the season, kind of goes into the new year.
By the end of 2023, the Buckeyes sat at a respectable 11-2 overall record. And since that point, that record has plummeted to a mediocre 14-10. Many have their theories on why the team has performed so poorly as of late, but most have come to the conclusion that head coach Chris Holtmann may not be the right fit to lead the team anymore.
There are some issues, whether that is with Chris Holtmann as a coach himself or the team chemistry, but there's something in the background that is an issue for Ohio State that's causing them to go into, for example, this season 12-2 in January and then declining to 13-10 now.
The Buckeyes now have just over 4 weeks until the Big Ten tournament begins, and it's now clear that if a change is not made soon, Buckeye fans will have another disappointing end to a once hopeful season. From Buckeye TV 19, I'm Eli Burgett.
The Buckeyes face the Wisconsin Badgers tonight at 9, who they previously fell to in January 71-60. Currently facing a losing streak, the Badgers will be hosting tonight's game at the Kohl Center in Madison, Wisconsin. The Buckeyes rank 13th in the Big Ten as of right now, and like Eli said, there are only 4 weeks until the Big Ten tournament. A win tonight would instill a lot of confidence in the players and the fans. I'll be sure to be tuning in.
Ohio State parking has been a large discussion recently. With the new constructions near the stadium, some students feel they're not really getting what they pay for. Here's Hajar Ahmed with more.
Ohio State is known for so many things, like the academic programs, business, engineering, but is there parking? As in, is there school? Let's find out.
According to Campus Park, there are over 35,000 spots on campus, and some students say it's worth the price that they pay.
I think it's pretty good because when I was paying for it initially, I had the Buckeye lot, and it's pretty good because there's a competition system that comes every 7 minutes or so, which I do like it, so that kind of helps. One con that I would say is the fact that the buses stop by 10 p.m. But otherwise, it seems pretty good system.
And some students say it's not worth the price that they pay.
I pay for the C pass, the surface slot, so it counts for all the surface slots on campus. And then off peak, I can park the staff ones too.
Do you feel like you get what you paid for?
Not this semester because half of them are closed right now because of construction. So I like the 700. There's only 400 that are available, so that sucks. So it's not worth the price.
How many spots are available?
Right now, I think 390.
Yeah.
Half of them are near the stadium and they're closed for construction. So if you go near Stadium Arena, it's packed right now.
Do you think you're getting scammed out of your money?
Yes, that's a scam. Because if you're gonna pay me full price, you're gonna have half the lots open. Why would I pay full price? That doesn't make sense.
You have it, folks. There are pros and there are cons for parking at OSU. Reporting live from Buckeye TV.
After the break, our reporters tell us more about tackling seasonal depression in these cold winter months, after we find out which is truly better, North or South Campus.
Stay tuned for Men's Lacrosse later and more on Black History Month, and we'll be right back after the break. While Punxsutawney Phil might have predicted an early spring for 2024, Ohio's winter remains as gloomy as ever. Here to discuss seasonal depression and how students can remain motivated while draped in gray skies is reporter Hayden Moncada.
While it may be all sunshine and rainbows on this beautiful Columbus Day, let me tell you, most Ohio natives agree that is not typically the case. With dreary skies and bitter cold haunting Ohio winters, let's see how students are dealing with that pesky seasonal depression.
Seasonal depression is a type of mental illness that impacts 5% of the U.S. population, according to the American Psychiatric Association. It's most frequent during the winter season, with shorter days and gray skies forcing people inside. This weather can often lead to a lack of motivation, oversleeping, weight gain, and general feelings of despair.
I do get sad when the weather's not good.
And it's easier. I like taking a break by walking, but if it's cold outside, I can't really do that. I'd rather, do some physical exercise than scroll reels or something like that. So.
There are numerous causes for this ailment. The shorter days throw off your body's natural clock, and a lack of sunlight and vitamin D deficiency decreases your production of serotonin, leading to feelings of unhappiness. In response to this mental health epidemic, Buckeyes have a variety of tips to help avoid seasonal depression.
First thing in the morning you should do is get sunlight in your eyes, because it's just free vitamin D, and second is just take vitamin D supplements. They help so much.
I have a little happy light that just kind of shines a bright light in your face, and you kind of have to pretend it's the sun. So it sometimes works, I guess.
Exercise is one of the most beneficial things you can do. It just brings positive feelings to yourself, I guess.
Beyond these tools, Ohio State also provides numerous resources to help improve your wellness. Additional information can be found through the Ohio State Health Plan website.
While we are blessed with beautiful azure skies, we have hope for a brighter, less gloomy tomorrow. But until then, Buckeyes on campus have some excellent advice as towards how to avoid those pesky winter blues. With Buckeye TV, I'm Hayden Moncada. Back to you in the studio.
A great way to liven up the wintertime might be to visit some great spots around campus. Reporter Honor Lackey is here with a story on some of the graduating Buckeyes' favorite places.
With a campus as big as Ohio State's, there's bound to be places to shop, eat, study, or hang out with friends that current Buckeyes have never considered checking out. In honor of those graduating in the spring, I'm talking to some soon-to-be Buckeye alumni about their favorite hidden gems on campus.
For Will Engel, a third year graduating early, the best spot to shop is just down High Street.
I first came to this Goodwill when I was but a freshman.
Located at 2550 North High, Engel says this thrift store has been the best place to find old flannels, cool trinkets, and more.
You can find a lot of hidden gems here that you wouldn't expect.
I often find myself, especially on nice days, going to the courtyard in Derby Hall. I have a geography minor, and that's how I found out about it, because the geography department is there.
If the day isn't so nice, Marshall prefers the third floor of Anderson for quiet studying.
Whether you want to be around a lot of people and noise or need complete silence, there's definitely a place you can find on campus.
For Buckeye TV, I'm Honor Lackey.
From iconic landmarks to which dorms are better, we'll be delving into the heart of Buckeye Nation to settle the debate which is over and which is better, North or South Campus.
Hello, today we're on the campus at the Oval to settle a long disputed argument to see which side of campus students prefer, North or South. So let's go out there and ask them some questions.
Yeah, I've lived on North Campus for 2 years. Well, this would be my second year, halfway through, I guess. And it's been great. Yeah, I love hanging out on North Campus. I've enjoyed South Campus too, though. The dorms are great. Yeah, I lived in Torres and now I'm in Scott, and they're both great. I'm definitely staying on North.
Well, we want to live together next year on South, but like if we had to be on North, we would rather be like anywhere other than Lawrence, pretty much.
I personally like the green spaces, and like it feels more like OSU on South to me, with Mirror Lake and the Oval.
I think like also being closer to Thompson and just like where everyone is like the Oval and the South Oval and Thompson, and that's just like where I would rather be.
I feel like South Campus is more like aesthetic and like it's more like, I don't know how to describe it, but like North is like more like urban, like there's all the restaurants over there, and like High Streets is right by North, and like the South High Street, it's like it's not as good as North High Street. So.
With pros and cons to each respective side of campus, there seems to be no clear distinction over which side students prefer. It all just comes down to students' personal preferences. With Buckeye TV, this has been Sophie Malin.
In sports news, last Sunday, the Kansas City Chiefs beat out the San Francisco 49ers in overtime in front of the largest Super Bowl audience to date. 123.7 million people tuned in, according to the Nielsen. Maybe it was all the Taylor Swift fans tuning in. Super Bowl 58 set a TV ratings record as the most watched U.S. broadcast since the moon landing in 1969. After the break, reporter Jayla Van Horn has more on Black History Month. A look at what Ohio State men's lacrosse team is up to is coming up, and soon, a story on the best and worst of High Street. The month of February is here, marking the celebration of Black History Month and the historical figures that have paved the way for equality. Those opportunities have led to the growth of Black-owned businesses, with Columbus, Ohio becoming a central hotspot. Jayla Van Horn has more on the story.
Black History Month is here, and there are dozens of Black-owned businesses in the Columbus, Ohio area who are looking to keep their business fresh and alive. And one has brought its southern roots up north.
From the outside looking in, Modern Southern Table may just seem like a traditional Southern eatery, but its cuisine style mixed with culture and a drop of love makes this restaurant unlike any other.
So we are as authentic as possible in our cuisine, and you can taste it. And no, yeah, it's just everything's fresh, everything's made from scratch, no cans, no nothing.
Sadea Lewis opened Modern Southern Table in 2021. The Cleveland, Ohio native began cooking when she was 9, but her journey in the kitchen started from humble beginnings after her mother passed away from breast cancer.
It was really hard because basically I was 9. I should have been out playing with the kids and things like that, but I'm at home learning recipes and things like that. So it was kind of hard, and it was kind of like that basically my whole life. I was basically taking care of the household.
Lewis said her father sent her to live with her grandmothers in Mobile, Alabama. It was here where she learned the art of cooking. What started off as a hobby soon turned into a passion, with Lewis being featured as the winner of the Food Network's Food Court Wars and starting one of the hottest Southern eateries in Columbus.
I used to live here before I moved to Cincinnati. I never knew anything about this this place. I think it's really important, you know, because you hardly see any black businesses, especially around here in the campus area. So I think it opens up a lot of doors and avenues for other potential black business owners, and you know, I think it's a good fit. So.
Lewis said her goal was to bring the restaurant's food to the masses. Modern Southern Table does that through its affordable pricing while offering a variety of Southern classics, including its famous Alabama fried chicken.
Today was the fish. Well, the yams, but the really that kicked it off was the Kool-Aid, the punch. Really good, really good.
Modern Southern Table is coming up on its 3rd year anniversary, and while the success can be credited to Lewis, she said it wouldn't be possible without the love and support of her 3 grandmothers.
They basically taught me everything about soul food, everything about country food, Southern food, if you want to say. They taught me about canning, preserving. They basically taught me everything I know, baking, everything.
Modern Southern Table continues to grow. Lewis said its sales have increased each year by at least 20%, and her customers give her motivation to continue keeping her business alive.
A lot of them, everybody knows me, everybody knows my staff, everybody knows we pretty much from scratch. We really work hard. I feel like they just need to come on out. If you haven't tried us, come on out and try us. If you don't know us, come learn us.
Modern Southern Table is located at 1086 North 4th Street inside Bud Dairy Hall. Its opening hours are available at modernsoutherntable.com. So if you're looking for a Southern food spot, there's now one near you. Reporting for Buckeye TV, I'm Jayla Van Horn.
In a dominating display of skill and teamwork, Ohio State men's lacrosse clinched a convincing victory against the Cleveland State Vikings. And now, reporter Connor Finn has the full story.
Thanks, guys. And yes, it was swift victory for the Buckeyes Saturday afternoon. But after a Cleveland State 3-0 start in the first quarter, we saw Coach Nick Myers' squad lead a surging victory, winning 13-6 and improving to 2-0 on the season. Now let's check out those highlights.
The Buckeyes are coming off an 11-8 victory against Utah last Saturday.
Number 45, Zach Tower.
Are coming off a 12-11 victory against VMI.
Number 35, Justin.
Cleveland State scored the first 3 goals of the game, leaving the Buckeyes down early in the first quarter. Ohio State scored first of its 5-7 unanswered goals in the first quarter, with Jack McKenna, Ben Mayer, Gannon Matthews, Ari Allen, and Ed Sheen scoring in the opening quarter for the Buckeyes. Alex Mariner continued the run in the second quarter, recording his first 2 career goals, and completed the team's scoring run to extend the Buckeye lead to 7-5. The Buckeyes' final goals of the game came from Lewis and Sam Burns in the fourth quarter. Ohio State is coming off a rough 2023 campaign and is looking to start this season off strong and use this momentum headed into Big Ten play. Here's what Coach Myers had to say after the game.
Different than last week in some respects. I want to credit Cleveland State for coming in and fighting hard. You know, Caleb Fyock start there, his first career win as a goalie, a freshman. Proud of him getting that first one under his belt. You know, 13 goals on 54 shots. You know, I felt like we left a lot out there. But, you know, again, credit your opponent for that.
Please, Coach Myers now looks to face Bellarmine on Tuesday evening this week to hopefully improve to 3-0 on the season. I'm Connor Finn, and this is Buckeye TV. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Connor, and it's great to see Coach Myers in such high spirits after the Buckeye victory.
This afternoon, the Ohio State men's lacrosse team hosts Bellarmine at the Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium, the 2 teams' first meeting since 2017. The game will be streamed on Big Ten Network for those interested in watching the Buckeyes face the Knights. The last time the teams met, the Buckeyes won 9-5 over the Knights, a record they'll be aiming to maintain this afternoon. After the break, reporter Krista Willis lets us know what students feel are the best and worst spots on High Street. Stick around and we'll see you after the break. Students often spend lots of time and money on High Street, at the numerous restaurants, coffee shops, and bars. There are many great areas, but some unlikable. Let's hear what Ohio State students have to say. Krista Willis has the story.
One of the busiest streets in Columbus, Ohio is located right here next to Ohio State's campus. Today we're going to be asking students what they consider to be the best and worst parts of High Street.
With so many attractions around, you can always find something to do on High Street. But with the lack of safety and minimal parking, some may disagree. Let's see what some students have to say.
The Chipotle, Starbucks, and B-Dubs, there's a lot to do there. They've got a lot of bars around there too, so it's a nice little area. My least favorite would be the Kroger on campus because of the all the traffic and all the new apartments that they're building and all the homeless people there, so I think that's my least favorite.
The best thing about High Street is Gateway. The worst thing about High Street is Bulls, and they can improve on making it cleaner.
Students are hoping for more improvement on High Street, but with the ever-growing city, there is no telling what the future of High Street will look like.
For Buckeye TV, I'm Krista Willis.
Thank you so much for joining us today here at Buckeye TV. I'm Eli Burgett.
And I'm Sophie Malin.
And we'll see you next time.